You know those moments? We have all been there. You're facing something painful, something that just feels totally unfixable, at least right now. And in those moments, every single instinct we have is just screaming at us to do something. But what if? What if the most powerful thing you could do isn't to act at all, but to just get through it without making everything a whole lot worse?
I mean, think about it. It's a paralyzing feeling, right? You're completely overwhelmed. Your gut is telling you to react, to fight, to do anything, but there's just nothing to be done. So what do you do then? Do you lash out? Do you just give up? Or do you make some impulsive choice that you know you're going to regret later? That right there, that's the crisis moment we're talking about today.
Well, it turns out there's actually a whole set of skills designed for this exact problem, and they're called distress tolerance. And you should think of this less like a single big idea and more like a super practical toolkit for managing the unmanageable, for surviving those emotional storms when they hit.
Okay, so first things first, let's get really clear on what kind of situations we're actually talking about here. Because these skills, they aren't for your everyday little annoyances. Nope, they are for when pain is truly unavoidable, for real moments of crisis.
So what does crisis actually mean in this context? Well, it's got three key ingredients. First, it's got to be highly stressful. We're talking peak emotional intensity. Second, it's short-term. These skills are for the heat of the moment, not a long, drawn-out problem. And third, and this is crucial, acting on your urges in that moment could have really, really negative consequences. You know, like during a massive argument, or a sudden loss, or when you're dealing with an overwhelming craving.
So that brings us to what I like to call your emotional first aid kit. These are the crisis survival skills. Think of them as the practical, in-the-moment tools you can use to kind of stop the emotional bleeding so you can think clearly again once the storm starts to pass.
And the number one job of this first aid kit is super simple. Just get through the crisis without making things worse. That's it. Before you can even think about solving anything, you've got to stop yourself from reacting based on pure emotion. It all starts with hitting the pause button on those knee-jerk impulses.
So how do you actually hit that pause button? Well, one of the best tools is called the STOP skill. It's an acronym. First, S, you literally stop. Just freeze. Don't move a muscle, don't say a word. Then T, take a step back. You can do this physically or just mentally. Create some space. O is for observe. What is actually going on here? Inside of you and around you. And only then, P, you proceed mindfully. You act with awareness, not with that raw reactive emotion.
All right, here's another quick and dirty tool for when you're right on that edge. Just quickly map out the pros and cons. Think about it. Acting on that crisis urge, it usually has one pro, right? You get some short-term relief. But the con? It almost always makes things way worse in the long run. Now, what about resisting the urge? Well, there's one big con. It is painful right now. But look at the pros. You get self-respect, you get better outcomes, you stay in control. Just seeing it laid out like this can be the little bit of motivation you need to just hang on.
Okay, this is amazing. Sometimes you need to change your body's chemistry and you need to do it fast. This is where the TIP skills come in, and the T stands for temperature. So if you splash your face with cold water or even just hold an ice pack to your temples, you trigger this incredible biological response called the mammalian dive reflex. It's this ancient circuit in our brains that basically tells your body you're diving underwater. And what does it do? It instantly slows your heart rate down to conserve oxygen. It's like a biological cheat code to calm your entire nervous system down in seconds. How cool is that?
So, those first aid skills, they get you through the immediate crisis. They get you through the fire. But what about when the pain doesn't just go away? For that, we have to move beyond just surviving. We need to learn the art of acceptance.
This quote, wow, it really gets to the heart of the whole thing. A lot of the time, the hell we're in isn't just the pain itself. It's the endless, exhausting fight against a reality we just can't change. So, acceptance, it becomes the only real way out.
Now, this is a super important point because people get this wrong all the time. Radical acceptance does not mean that you approve of what's happening. It doesn't mean you're being passive or just giving up. It is simply, and I mean simply, acknowledging the facts of reality as they are right now, without fighting them. Think of it this way, you can accept that it's raining outside, right? That doesn't mean you like the rain, and you can still plan to fix the leaky roof tomorrow. You're just not arguing with the fact that it's currently raining.
And this brings us to what might be one of the most important equations for our emotional well-being: pain. Pain is just a fact of life. It's going to happen to everyone. It's inevitable. But suffering? Suffering is something different. Suffering is what happens when we add that extra layer of struggle, of fighting, of this shouldn't be happening on top of our pain. Suffering is the pain plus our resistance to it. And radical acceptance, it's all about removing that second part of the equation.
So let's put this all together now. We've got our emotional first aid kit for surviving a crisis, and we've got this deeper practice of accepting reality. When you combine them, that's how we start to find real freedom. So this whole process really leads to 3 clear goals. Number 1, survive those crisis situations without blowing things up and making them worse. Number 2, accept reality as it is, right here, right now. And the result of doing those 2 things, well, that's the ultimate goal. Number 3, to become free. Free from all that extra suffering that we create when we fight against reality.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. Just think about all the energy you spend fighting reality. You know, wishing things were different, being angry about the facts, replaying things over and over. What if you could free up all of that energy? If you just stopped fighting the unchangeable, what would you be free to do? What problems could you actually solve? What kind of life could you build? That, right there, is the promise of distress tolerance.